Welcome to another episode of Listen to Us Rant About Movies. I'm Wes Ford.
I'm Zach Harris.
We rant about movies and drink while we do it. Today we have a special guest with us on the podcast. Welcome to the show, Alex Lundie.
Hey, how we doing?
He is a rigger for concerts, touring, and events, and the like over in California.
Yeah, we got a coast-to-coast show.
Yeah, man, we're
That's
spread
right.
across here.
Yeah.
All across the U.S.
Yeah.
We got West Side, Central, and East Coast.
Yeah, Alex and I go way back. You know, good buds from way back when.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Yeah, man.
Like elementary school or something.
Yeah. It's
Oh,
great.
that long ago?
Yeah,
yeah.
that's way back.
Back to the Boston days.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Look how far we've come.
All right.
Yeah, so on this episode, we're going to be discussing what we've been watching, followed by an in-depth review of Martin Scorsese's new Netflix film, The Irishman. And we are all drinking separate beers, but we have a similar theme going. We got the Irish theme going. I am drinking Rollin' Dirty from Brew Bus. It's brewed over here in Tampa, and it's an Irish-style red ale.
I'm drinking Wexford Irish-style cream ale.
Nitro, right?
Nitro. Very important.
And
What you got, Alex?
I got the BJ's Restaurant Jeremiah Red Irish style ale. It's a pretty nice color. Nice and red.
Nice.
Perfect.
You said that was like a little one local around you, right?
Yeah, it's like a brewing or a restaurant chain that makes the beers at the restaurant, and
Hell
they
yeah.
got their own line. Pretty good stuff.
Nice.
You know, like we were talking about off the air, it's actually it was like hard to find an Irish red. I knew when I picked this because it was like only one available, which is strange because it's actually kind of rare. But this is served on bus tours, brew bus tours in Tampa, and they typically only serve them on the bus. But for some reason, this was like the only Irish red that was available over here.
Yeah, I was gonna go for the Killians. That's like pretty classic. You can find it in a lot of
Yeah.
spots, but I couldn't find it. So this is my go-to.
I guess it's out of season. Like at the place I was at, everyone's like Irish red. It's out of season, but it's
And
like
it's got to be
well,
St. Patty's Day. Huh?
Yeah, I guess, but it's like you wouldn't have one. Like, just give me one, bud. You know, like,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I didn't realize there were seasons for the Irish Red, but I guess there is. Well, let's give it a sip,
yeah, man.
shall we? All right, cheers.
Cheers.
It's creamy. Mine at least.
Mine's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Very nice. Mine's
Smooth.
not sweet. It's malty,
Malty.
and yeah, very much of a brown ale. It's actually not a high ABV. It's only like 5%.
Nice.
But yeah, good flavor. All right, well, before we get into what we've been watching, we'd like to remind you guys that this podcast is brought to you by Audible. You can get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial at www.audibletrial.com/LTURAM. You can choose from 180,000 titles from your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. And if you like what you hear on this episode, remember you can find other episodes of our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and YouTube. And that's going to mark it. Let's get into it. We've been watching.
Real quick,
Yeah.
before we get into that, maybe Alex, if you want to give a little, I feel like the listeners know our taste, but like you're a big movie boy too, so maybe a little bit about yourself, what you're into. You know what I mean?
Sure thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Zach and I go way back, and he kind of got me into the DVDs thing too. So I'm pretty big into the physical media. I got like about 1,000 DVDs and Blu-rays mixed, and
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I got some Criterions, kind of all over the place. Just kind of started out being like really into Jack Black and like only specific actors like Adam Sandler. Like I was like, gotta have every Jack Black movie ever, even if he only had like a bit part. Like,
Yeah, you were big. I remember you had Waterworld because he was like the pilot in the plane.
yeah,
For, like,
and I would
very
proudly
briefly.
be like, oh, Jack Black's in that movie for one scene with one line.
That's awesome. Are you still collecting Blu-rays now?
Yeah, I've picked some up. The most recent one I got was Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. That was a good
Nice.
one. And I
It's a
got
banger.
Home Alone
It's a
and Home
great
Alone 2 and
Oh shit.
Vacation, Christmas Vacation.
Oh, so you're
Nice.
upgrading the Christmas arena.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
that time of year.
I
you
was
know?
Yeah, you know,
Loading up on the holiday stuff.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel like
I
I
wanna-
haven't.
You
I haven't upgraded my holiday ones. I got the Home Alone set, but like not a lot of the other ones. So it's a standard definition season because you know it's like I got all DVDs of these. No Blu-ray of Christmas Vacation. No Blu-ray of Muppet Christmas Carol. You know what I mean?
Yeah, gotta see
Yeah,
that
see, I'm
Christmas Carol.
I'm kind of. I feel like I'm a little spoiled now because I got the Disney Plus and they've got like
Yeah.
all those except for Christmas Vacation.
Is there Muppet
which
stuff
we
on
have
Disney
on DVD?
Plus?
Yeah, man.
God, I haven't dug around in there. I just like put on the Mandalorian and then turn it off.
They got
There's
the
so much.
they got the
So
Mi-
much content.
they got the Miyazaki movies on there on Disney Plus.
I think they, if they don't yet, I think they
sure.
got the rights to them. I'm not sure if
think
they're on
they
there
did.
yet, but I
'Cause that'd
remember.
be pretty sweet. Library.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember because I collected all the Blu-rays over like a few months. I was like picking them up and just watching them right away. And then I think
Yeah.
after, I was like, oh, nice. I only need to get like one more. I saw some article that was like, Studio Ghibli never to sell their rights for streaming. And I was like, hell yeah, you know? And then literally 2 days later, Studio Ghibli sells rights to Disney Plus. I was like, God damn it!
Yeah.
Just bought all of them!
I had
Like,
the same thing with The Simpsons. I just bought like
Yeah.
the first like 7 seasons of
Oh,
The
yeah.
Simpsons, and I was like, oh, nobody's gonna get this. And then
Yeah,
like
right.
they had this ad for Disney Plus where it was like,
Mm-hmm.
don't like Disney Plus.
The Simpsons
Yeah.
is a tough one because that season 6 is just a garbage box. Do you know you know about this, Alex?
Oh, how they changed the box style to
They
be in like the
changed?
pictures of their face,
Ah,
like the
they fucked
plastic
it up.
ones.
And then they switched it back with season 7, but they
Ugh.
released both. But season 6 only has the one release, so I have like 14 seasons of it or something. And then there's just one in the middle that's different. I'm like, duh! Every time I look at it.
Killer.
Spoils it.
I should have just progressed with the other versions from then on. You know what I mean? That's the smart thing to do.
Right.
Those
And
are-
you're like, ah,
Those are really nicely put together, though. The Simpsons box sets.
What's
like,
that?
It's got a little liner notes.
Oh
the,
yeah,
Simpsons box sets are really nice. Nice
they're
extras
very
and stuff.
expensive. Yeah, absolutely. So they're worth having regardless. It's good. They're good to have. You know, regardless of Disney Plus. Same with the Miyazaki movies. I'm not sweating. I'm glad I have.
That's
I
it.
mean, I just bought a bunch this past year of Miyazaki movies too,
Right.
on Blu-ray. And I don't regret it, even if they're gonna be on there. It's like I like having those discs, and they have their look too, you know,
Oh,
the
absolutely.
Yeah.
Blu-rays. So it's like they look good together.
Very
Yeah,
nice.
that's the tough
Yep.
part about having seasons on DVD when you're used to like Netflix and you can just binge the whole season. When you got
Yeah.
the season of a show and you got 4 discs for a season, so you're like, man, that's a lot of getting off the couch.
Yeah. It's not so easy because if it just plays in the next 5 seconds, it's like, all right,
Right.
whatever. But then if you really have to want it, you know what I mean? It's like, I
Yeah.
don't want it. I don't, you know? Like, but I do. Like, give it to me now. But it makes me jump.
Right.
Makes you jump ship.
It's a bigger commitment, you know.
It's more intent. It's also like if you're collecting them and then you just run out, you can't find it. I've had that where it's like, oh, can't find the gotta track it down, you know?
Right.
You gotta track it down. But then that causes, that's a time delay right there.
Oh, absolutely. Then you're waiting.
And then you could get distracted, and then it's like, oh, well, I can't find it, and then it breaks the the streak.
Breaks the streak. Next thing you know, it's out of print. You never get it again.
I have been watching The Simpsons though on Disney Plus just because they're on there, and
yeah, those early seasons,
the
they're bangers.
Yeah, man, they're great.
So good. Are you watching through chronologically, or are you just jumping around?
I'm watching through. Me too. Because I still haven't watched them all on my disc.
Nice. Well, to get into other things we've been watching, so I watched a movie called Slow West.
Oh, yeah.
You heard of this movie?
With, like, Michael Fassbender.
Yeah.
And
this came out
Kid from
2015.
The Road. Is that who's in it?
Yeah. Cody Smith McPhee.
Yeah.
Is his name?
I never saw it, but I heard it was good.
Yeah, I wanted to check it out. It's an A24 movie. I love A24. So, and it was streaming on Amazon Prime for free. So I was like, oh, check it out. And it was good. I liked it. It's an interesting take on a Western. I liked how simple it was. Mm-hmm. It was just about this kid from Scotland, who is, and it's very clear from the very beginning, he's ill-informed about his supposed relationship with this woman who had to run away with her father for a crime or something that happened. And so he chases her to America to try and find her, and he runs across this gunslinger played by Michael Fassbender. And so they sort of team up together. He's hunting down these people, and he's trying to find her to be back with her. Mm-hmm. And it's just that, and they get to their destination and things happen, and it's a classic Western in that sense. So
nice.
I enjoyed it. It's worth checking out.
Oh, yeah.
It was pretty well shot as well. It's just a good, simple, easy movie to watch.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I like that Michael Fassbender.
Yeah, you gotta love him.
Oh, yeah.
And who else was in it that was kind of surprising?
It's in,
I can't remember his name. Ben Mendelsohn.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in it. He was pretty good in it.
I like him.
Yeah.
Oh, I like him.
So, yeah, check it out. It's an hour and a half.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty simple, easy watch. And I've been on a bit of a Western kick lately, so.
Yeah, big Western boy.
Enjoyed. Yeah.
Nice. I saw a screening of 1917, the new Sam Mendes movie. And
it looks like Sam. Sorry, before you continue,
yeah.
I just want to say that from the trailers, it seems like it's like Sam Mendes trying to make a Christopher Nolan movie.
I think it's just him trying to make a movie that has like a ton of spectacle.
Okay.
Like it didn't feel.
I'm not saying that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying
it didn't sort feel like
it has a Nolan-esqueness to it.
Yeah, for sure. It felt pretty Sam Mendes, I would say. Like, it was pretty cool.
Okay.
I didn't have like a strong reaction to it because it was just like very much met my expectations, which were high, and it was very good. It was just like extremely impressive and very good. I was just like, yeah, this is an extremely well done movie. Very engaged the whole time. Had to pee really bad through the last like hour of it, and held it the whole time because it was so good.
Held in there.
Oh yeah, you gotta just tuck it in, just like keep it, shove it back inside. Because I was also
good for you, man.
I was in a Dolby theater, which was nice, but then
Dolby,
the
nice.
footrests go right up to the wall, like literally like a half inch. So then if you need to go to the bathroom, everyone like puts their has to put their seats down, and it was just like
Dude.
such a nightmare. So I was like, well,
That's
I
exactly
cannot
how
go
it
to the
is.
bathroom.
That sounds
That's how
like
it
a
is
fire
at the
hazard.
Dolby Theater here.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah,
Like,
totally.
what if the power goes out and it's all stuck and you gotta, like, climb over it?
Yeah, it's not good. Like,
That's how they must all be, because that's how the Dolby Theater is here.
Yeah.
Like, you can't walk if you have your footrest up. It's like, come on.
yeah, it's a nightmare.
Get some more room in there. It's
Yeah,
like,
you need like another like foot to be able, because people could tuck the feet in. You tuck the feet and you slip around. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But no one tucks the feet. It's like if you tuck the feet, I can try to step over, just pull them back.
Right.
But no, everyone's like, oh, sorry, 1 second. And then they like take out, they have to like get all their jackets and popcorn out from under the footrest. It's like,
Oh my God.
You know? It's like, oh God.
So
damn it.
inconvenient.
But this one did have separate control over footrest and back.
Oh.
So it was like you could
Okay.
adjust your back without having the footrest up, or just sit straight up with the footrest. Into that.
That's kind of nice.
Daddy like. I was in.
I bet the sound quality was
Oh,
amazing.
It was killer, yeah. I was
Do
pumped.
you recommend seeing in Dolby?
Yeah, I also saw it for free in Dolby, so that
Oh,
made
shit.
it especially worth it. But I don't know how much the tickets for that, like how much of a boost that is. But I'd say it was worth it. It was like, it's very much an event movie and like very much a theater movie.
Sure.
So might as well go all out, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Get those explosions going.
Hell yeah. I was surprised too. It was playing at like the big theater downtown, and it was like a pre-screening, and they usually always overbook them at that theater, so like they ensure people show up. And it was at like 7, and I was like, I get off at 5, like I'm just gonna go straight there. Like, why not? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Expecting a huge line, and there wasn't a line at all, and we were like the first people in, and we just sat. He's like, sorry, you can only sit in row G, and we were like, oh, okay. And it was the middle, like the perfect seat, and we were just like, oh, we just sat right in the middle, and no one, the theater didn't fill up. And I was like, what?
Really?
Like, no one came. It was weird. It was free. Like, why wouldn't you just like, you know?
Oh, like literally anyone could walk in and like
You
go
just
to it?
they sent out like an email, then you just got like
Oh.
a free pass if you just like signed up on a list.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. So it's just
Hell
like,
yeah.
but I'm just like, no one came to this like Sam Mendes. It's weird.
Maybe no one like knew about the free thing.
Yeah, maybe not. Very weird.
Yeah, interesting.
Anyway,
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing that.
yeah, it's a great movie.
Nice.
Alex,
So-
what about you?
So I watched The Report on Amazon Prime.
Oh, okay.
Did either of you see that?
No,
No, I want to.
that's Adam Driver, right?
Yes, and he's very
Nice.
good in the role. It's about like the torture during the Iraq War, and he's like investigating the practices of the government and just battling the government about whether or not it was worth, if they got anything good out of the torture. So
Mm-hmm.
pretty
Nice.
solid. I liked
Nice.
it.
Adam Driver's been killing it, man. I feel like I've heard a lot of good things about The Report, so definitely gotta check that out. Especially if it's streaming on Prime now, right?
Yeah.
Gotta check it out.
Gotta check it out.
Yeah, didn't
It's on the list.
Who directed that? Isn't it
I don't know.
Scott
It's someone I know.
Burns?
Oh yeah, who did like who wrote like Contagion and Informant. He's a Soderbergh. He's a Soderbergh.
Is that true?
boy. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Scott C. Burns.
All right, no, I'm interested.
I like Contagion.
Yeah, Contagion
Pretty
rules.
solid.
I like that
Yeah,
movie
it's
a lot.
good.
Yeah, also with the laundromat. Okay. I'm looking at his thing now.
He's mostly a writer then.
Yeah.
Is this like his first directed feature? Or?
Maybe. Yeah. Here, let me see. I think so. Looks like he's done some TV, but not features.
Oh, that's cool.
Interesting. Okay, yeah, I'll have to check that out.
Same. All right, cool. So next one for me is this has been on my Netflix list for probably a very long time, and I had some free time. I was just sitting around, and I was like, "What should I watch? What should I watch?" And I was just like, "I'm just gonna watch this." It's been on here forever. Creep 2. You guys ever see the first one or the second one?
I saw the first one.
Yeah.
No, I don't know that one.
Yeah, it's directed and written and produced by Mark Duplass. Very simple, low budget film, especially the first one, about this like pretty strange guy who's kind of a killer, and he always records things, and so it's almost like a found footage movie in a way, but it kind of follows this one particular character who's just kind of psycho. And I find the concept pretty interesting because it seems like such like a just like an easy concept to do and just sort of like a passion project for Mark Duplass, you know?
The first one is like setup of he gets him off like Craigslist, right? To like document his life or something.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. So does the second...
No. Sorry, the second one is the Craigslist to document his to make a documentary about him. That's the second one.
Oh, I thought that happened. So is it the same setup as the first one? Because isn't that what happens in?
Is that what happens in the first?
Yeah, he like hires a videographer off Craigslist or something like that.
Okay, I think it's the same concept, but the second one was different because it was a girl who was like, he hires this girl who's like has a web series online.
Okay.
And she's the videographer. I think that's what's different.
Yeah, I was just curious if it was like that was his like weird killer routine, or if the second one was just like an offshoot of just him, you know.
Yeah, no, you're right. So both have that same initial concept, and that's how they find or are introduced to this character. And yeah, it's worth checking out if you like the first one. I thought it was pretty decent. And it just, I don't know. I kind of appreciate like people doing like little indie projects like this, you know.
Super micro budget.
The super micro budget, real easy to make. Makes you think like this was so simple to make and has an actual story. Why am I not doing this?
Yeah, totally.
You know.
So
yeah, it's kind of inspiring.
On that point, you said you watch it on Netflix. I just wanted to go on a little tangent about. Did you ever have the Netflix mail-in DVDs?
I never had the mail-in DVDs.
You never did?
No.
I still do it.
Nope.
I still do it to
Alex
this
is
day.
so rocking 'em.
I'm like, that's my list. I go off of it, and I like to get it in the mail, so it's like, you know, you get something new that's not like a bill or something, and it kind of like forces you to watch it, so you can like put it at the top of your list, and you're like, all right, I'm gonna watch this and get it out of the way.
I get that. That's a pretty good way to do it, because it's like it does kind of force you, because it's taking up literal space.
Yeah, you're like, it's right there,
and then you
can't get the next one until you watch it. Just
I think that's my problem with buying Blu-rays, is that there's no urgency and I gotta get this thing back, so it just sits there.
It's like I'm missing out if I don't get it back. Gotta get like at least 3 a month to make it worth it. So,
yeah, exactly. So it's like you're
burn.
actively trying to like get them watched, you know.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. I respect that that tradition you have set up for yourself.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. Like pop in the disc, you know.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Like that physical media.
Ain't nothing better than popping a disc, baby.
Pop in the disc.
Do they have Blu-ray on there, or is it just
They do.
DVDs?
For a premium $2 extra charge, you can get the Blu-rays.
They have 4Ks on there, because that's kind of a game changer.
Yeah, that is a game changer.
I don't think they have that yet.
Because if I could like rent UHDs, I would buy so many less of them. Because I just buy them because I want to watch it. I want to watch the 4K disc. But like I don't need to own it. I don't need to own Rambo 4, but I do. You know, like, I don't mind that I do, but I do. You know.
Totally.
Oh,
I kind of miss popping in discs sometimes, though. You know, it's like,
oof, love a good disc.
That's a good experience. It's part of the experience, you know.
Yeah, man.
It's just like a record.
Exactly.
You got the cover art. You got the art on the disc.
I like sitting instead of on Netflix where they just immediately recommend you something else to watch. When you watch a good movie and then it ends and I like don't want to put anything else on, just read the booklet. Pop that booklet out, give it a read.
Yeah.
You know? Watch a special feature. Come on.
I do love my special features on discs.
Daddy likes.
That's for sure. I love going through those. Yeah.
Did you guys get anything for Black Friday? Do you see any sales on there?
I bought Rambo 4 on 4K. It was $7. I was like, all right, I'm buying Rambo 4 right now.
I bought 2 Blu-rays, but for new movies. I bought Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Okay.
And I bought Ad Astra.
Wait, just
4K.
Blu-rays?
4K Blu-rays of those.
Both. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah, definitely.
I was like, you didn't get the UHD at Once Upon a Time?
Oh no, of course I did.
What'd you get, Alex?
The Mission Impossible, all the ones that are out.
Oh yeah, those. That dropped nice and low.
The latest one, and it was only like $20 for 6.
Yeah, I saw that.
Wow.
Gotta pick that up.
Shit.
That's a steal.
Blurays.
Yeah, total steal.
Dude, the new one, I was a big fan.
Yeah, the new one's great.
The new one. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really good. I think like the past 3 have been amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta start from the beginning. Gotta watch that second one.
Do a little streak.
I don't even think I've seen the third one. Yeah,
Oh shit.
I'm definitely behind.
Oh man.
Well, hey, that's a good investment then. 20 bone.
It is.
Yeah, solid.
And
then on Friday it went up $10. It was like 30 on Black Friday. I got it on Thanksgiving, and I was like, oh.
It went up on Black Friday?
It went up. It did.
Jeez.
Believe it.
Now the Black Friday's kind of ruined.
You can't count on
people are shopping
anything in this world anymore. Blu-rays are going up on Black Friday. Can't count on anything. It's like getting so mad.
Just get real pissed off.
The only other thing I got real quick is I don't know if you know that this is out now, but you know the Vinegar Syndrome, the like Blu-ray company.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard of them?
I haven't.
Oh, okay,
personally.
they put out like a lot of like B horror and like stuff like exploitation movies and stuff.
Nice.
But they put out on Black Friday Tammy and the T-Rex, the movie with Denise Richards and Paul Walker where he becomes a T-Rex. Have you heard about this movie? They put it out, no joke, on UHD.
Wow.
It's coming out on 4K.
I have to watch this.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to get the Birdemic on 4K. When's that coming out?
Oh my god. Yeah, when's that? Is that out on Blu-ray? That would be
definitely.
amazing.
I've just definitely seen it on Blu-ray.
That's incredible. I need to pick that up. Isn't it on like YouTube? Birdemic. But yeah, just a little heads up. Tammy and the T-Rex UHD. It's real.
Coming to a Best Buy near you.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
Let's hope. Let's pray. It's gonna be so disappointing when I watch it. It'll be fun.
Is that what was next on your list?
No, it comes in the mail this week.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so I guess I watched El Camino, the Breaking Bad movie.
Okay, yeah, we talked about that. A little bit.
Did you see that, Alex?
No, I didn't.
Are you a Breaking Bad boy?
Yes, I've seen all the regular season. I haven't seen all of Better Call Saul.
Yeah, I haven't either.
I haven't either. Yeah.
El Camino was good, but like not amazing. So it was like,
Yeah.
kind of don't know why they needed to make it. It kind of just seemed like another episode in a way.
I heard that the
which-
Jesse
not
Pinkman
really
character was not as humorous as he was, or he was a little downer.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a downer. He's good. He's good in it, but it's not like a movie. It's more of just like an extended extra episode.
I think my thing, and I don't want to give anything away, but it seemed like it feels like an extended episode because there was nothing to like make it inform like a movie. You know, it was just like the continuation, and then they kept which was actually a pretty small storyline, and it just was like so many flashbacks. And it's just like, these are all good scenes. Like, I don't dislike these scenes, but like, if it should have just stayed in the present and just continued directly on, like in real time almost. You know what I mean? Like, as condensed as possible, because those were the best parts of the movie, I thought. Like, I enjoyed
totally
like what happens, but it almost seemed like every step he took, they like harkened back to some scene that you didn't see. And it's also like, if all this stuff is like pretty significant, like why didn't we just see this in the show? It just didn't feel like.
Also, well, it was kind of like a reason to bring these characters back, you know. And sort of
just kind of like
them.
A workaround to have, to just go back to the well and like pull out like fan favorites, which is fine. But it's just like, if that's your goal, don't make a sequel that focuses on one character. You know what I mean? Just like make a different story. Yeah. It just
right.
Like it wasn't bad. It was good. It's like it just was exactly like the show. So like the show's good, but it didn't feel like a movie to me. I feel like they were billing it as like a Western movie. It's like a Western. It's like there's like one scene that's kind of like a Western, but I didn't really get that vibe at all. Felt more just like a thriller.
I enjoyed the ride.
Yeah, it was a good thriller. Like it wasn't bad. It's just
I don't know.
Sort
of pointless.
Yeah, it just didn't seem worth it to like bring it back just for that, you know.
Yeah. Totally agree. All right, Alex, what else you got?
So, the last disc that I watched was Us, that I got on the Netflix mailer. Like,
nice.
I put it to the top of my list because I went on the Just Watch website to see if it was available, and it said it was not. It was only for purchase for $5. And then the day it showed up in the mail, it showed up on HBO because I got HBO Go. And I was like, damn it, I could have just watched it online. And then I went to go watch it on my HBO because I didn't want to pop the disc at the certain time. And my internet wasn't working that well. Like, it was stopping and starting. And I was like, gotta pop it in the disc.
Got that disc,
save the
baby.
Day. Yeah. But
it's convenient.
My thoughts on Us. I thought it was pretty solid. I liked Jordan Peele going back into it.
Yeah.
With another horror installment. It was creepy. I started to watch it with my wife, and she got too scared, so we had to stop. And then I went and started it again over, and it was pretty solid. Kind of cool story, original thought. Yeah.
Yeah, it had some it had some cool concepts. I liked it. I thought I think the previous film was a little stronger.
Yeah, I thought the ending was a little weak. I don't know
how
much we want to go into it, but
yeah, that's where it kind of fumbled for me too. I was like, I really like the setup a lot, and a good portion of the movie is like, oof, sitting real cherry.
Yeah,
but then it's
like
just,
the beginning's so good.
Yeah, like the first 2/3, I was like, man, this thing's a banger, and then not even. I mean, right at the end, it just kind of like tapered off a little bit. Where I think if it ended strong, it would have just I would have been way in. You know what I mean?
Right.
Totally.
But I still enjoyed it for the most part. I definitely liked it.
Definitely a lot
Same.
to think about, like what could have really happened, or leaves it up to your imagination.
Yeah, totally.
So that was good.
For sure.
Definitely. All right, cool. Last one I'll talk about. I watched around Thanksgiving, Forbidden Planet,
Nice.
1956 movie.
Oh, I've seen that.
Had never seen it before.
I got that on
I had never
DVD.
seen it.
Uh-huh.
Nice.
Yeah, that was a blind watch.
Nice. Yeah, this was also just on Netflix, and so I was hanging out with the family. I was hanging out with my dad, and we were kind of bored and like, oh, well, let's check out Netflix, see what we can watch. I don't know. And he suggested that, and I was like, yeah, I've never seen it. Let's check it out. And it was a fun watch for that kind of situation because it's so campy, it's so hokey, but I really enjoyed it. Like it's one of those classic sci-fis that
I like the robot. Like,
yeah, the robot's
he's all
cool.
bulky and like.
Yeah, it's a good design.
Totally, it's a good design, and it's been used in several other movies, I believe, too. It wasn't just that one.
Oh, the robot.
Right? It was like I think it was used as a character in several other old sci-fi movies. And I believe I saw that robot because when I went to Seattle years and years ago, I went to the Sci-Fi Museum there, and they had that there.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah. So anyway, it was cool to see him in this movie. I like how the human spaceship is like a flying saucer. Just something I don't think I've seen in any other movie,
Yeah.
Because those are always considered like alien. But the human spacecraft that was traveling through space was a flying saucer.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
Yeah, I need to watch that movie. It's been a long time. It's a good one.
Yeah, it was good. Good campy short watch.
Hell yeah.
It was enjoyable. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the reason that I bought it on DVD was because it wasn't available on Netflix disc at the time. Because I got this book. I don't know if you it's like called the 501 must see movies.
Oh
you
yeah.
guys ever?
Oh yeah.
Pick up that thing?
I've heard of that. Yeah.
It's got Catherine Hepburn on the front. Like, it goes through a bunch of different genres, through a bunch of decades. And I've just been going through it. I've had it for years, and just like mark off the page.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I started to do that. I have a copy of it on mine, and it was so satisfying to mark them off. I was like, yeah, every time you see them. I feel like it's still like that, like with Letterboxd and stuff. So satisfying. It's just like, oh yeah.
Yeah, when I saw
logged,
somebody made the whole list on Letterboxd, I was like, this is amazing because I can like filter everything I've seen.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, Letterboxd is a great tool.
Love it.
I love Letterboxd. Yeah, it's great.
Gotta love the box.
Gotta love the letter. Gotta love the box. Yeah, that's it for what I've been watching. Zach, you got another one?
I guess I watched Terror, which is a Norman J. Warren movie. It's just kind of like a British horror director, like 70s, 80s. And I'd seen a couple of his movies before. I've seen Prey and Satan's Slave. But this was The Terror, very much a response to Suspiria in a lot of ways. It's just like a family of witch hunters that all get murdered by an escaped witch in the opening scene. And then it like flashes to like modern day in the 70s. And it's a guy like having a party at like his family's like mansion. And he's like the descendant of these witch hunters, and there's this like curse of this witch who like comes back to kill, whatever member of the family, or
Yeah.
But yeah, kind of like
that sounds cool.
Kind of apes the sort of like crazy gel lighting and like the stylistic stuff because it's like just post Suspiria. which is fun. It doesn't like feel like, that similar, I guess. But it's also not as good. I'll say that. But it was a fun watch. It was a good, like, easy kind of like 70s horror movie. Didn't love it, but liked it. Enjoyed it. Feel like I've probably the lesser of that guy's movies that I've seen, but I haven't seen very many. So, yeah, Terror.
Nice.
And I guess the only other thing I watched was I got the new Arrow RoboCop, and boy howdy, that transfer, just beautiful.
Does it look good?
It looks very good.
Oh man.
And I bought it thinking it was a double dip, and I was like, oh man, like, I'm not really gonna double dip RoboCop, probably triple dip now, But I was like, ooh, that's a nice B, baby. That's real nice. Got the box, got the booklet, got multiple cuts. I was like, gotta get that cohesive multiple cut version. And
I got the RoboCop 1, 2, and 3 box set.
Yeah,
still haven't watched the third one. I heard he's got a jetpack in it.
Yeah,
saving it for a good time.
I remember not being very good, but like enjoying because it's fun. But I don't have any of those. But I brought back the RoboCop that I thought I double dipped, and I didn't own RoboCop on Blu-ray. I'm just like, I'm out of control. I don't even own this movie. Like, and what am I doing not owning RoboCop? It's like,
I know.
Glad I bought it.
I have to attest that RoboCop 1 and 2, fantastic movies, fantastic pieces of 80s film magic.
Yeah, RoboCop.
Oh yeah, I love the first one.
It's legit good. Like, not just fun. Like, it's very good. 5 out of 5, man. It's a banger.
I've got the first on Blu-ray.
Nice.
You gotta check out that RoboCop 2 though, Wes. It's good.
I've seen it. I don't own it. I haven't seen 3. I haven't seen the third one.
Yeah, me neither. I gotta check it out.
I saw it a while ago.
See that jetpack.
Yeah, I just remember being like, not what I was wanting out of this. Like, still fun though.
Yeah.
Still like goofy, but yeah.
Very cool. All right, Alex, you got one more to talk about?
Yeah, I watched The Godfather in anticipation for the review to get another gangster movie in there.
Oh, okay.
And it'd been a while since I've seen it, and I was very surprised how much I enjoyed it. And I was like, this is like the perfect gangster movie. Like, Marlon Brando is amazing, Al Pacino, James Caan, Robert Duvall, like,
yeah,
just
such
acting powerhouse all in one scene. Like, so good. 5 stars.
Hell yeah, man. I haven't seen that movie in forever, and I have to sadly admit I've never seen the second or the third one.
Never seen the second one.
Get on it.
I know.
Gotta get
Everyone
on
says
that.
it's way better.
I know. Everyone says it's better than the first one. I know.
Gotta do a
Get
double
on it.
feature.
I gotta watch it.
Sunday fun day.
Yeah, man. Bake that into
I
your
should do
your holiday vacation. Just like, today we're watching Godfather 2. Tomorrow we're watching Godfather 3. You know?
Just gotta commit.
Yeah,
Just
man.
gotta commit.
Commit to the bit.
I know. I gotta get on that. But
there is the thing. I feel like
I'm sure it's great.
I haven't seen them in so long, and I don't know why I rewatch them. But yeah, kind of like what you were saying, Alex. Every time I rewatch them, I'm like, this movie's like really good. But it's like, it's The Godfather, and then I'm like, what was I expecting? You know, it's like, yeah, but
Of course.
I always I never forced myself to do it, and then I'm always surprised at how
To go
good
back.
it is. Yeah.
Don't people not really like the third one?
Oh no, the third one was like a disaster. I think it was just Francis Ford Coppola getting money from the studios. They were like, if you want to finance your next movie, you got to give us a number 3, and he just pooped it out, and it was not good.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I don't really remember it. It's definitely the one I've seen the least amount of times.
Yeah.
Probably just twice, I think.
Do you like the second one more than the first one?
I don't know, because I don't think I watched them in close enough succession. I always liked the first one more, but I feel like the general consensus is number 2.
Yeah. It's the general consensus.
What about you, Alex? You number 1 or number 2?
It's been a while since I've seen the second one, but that one's got the Robert De Niro in it.
That's got Bobby.
Yeah.
You got Bobby De Niro in there, you know?
Yeah,
Come on.
it's a tough call. I'd probably say stick with number one.
Yeah.
Number one.
It's classic, you know?
All right. Well, now that we're talking about it, I'm gotta watch those.
I'm just waiting, doing nothing else for that 4K to drop. I'm sitting in a chair waiting.
Yeah, it's like
For the
why
Godfather
isn't there...
4K?
Yeah. That's gonna come out. Like, it has to.
Like, I know.
Or what about the Lord of the Rings 4K? When's that coming out?
I think it actually got announced for next year. I think it's happening.
Ooh, buddy.
I might
And
have
all
to
the
buy a
Hobbits,
4K
too,
just to
probably.
get that.
Yeah,
Because
man.
I never got the Blu-ray of that,
Oh, yeah?
so I
Now's
still
the
like those
time to
books.
upgrade.
I love those the DVD books with like
Oh, yeah.
the 4 discs in it.
Oh my God.
Amazing.
I got the Blu-ray,
Pride
but
of the collection.
Great.
I couldn't bring
Great
myself
set,
to
yeah.
sell those DVDs. I still have them also. I have both. I was like, I can't sell these DVDs. They're too good. Like, look at these books. They're all, you got the green and the
so
red
good.
and the blue. It's like, oof.
Yeah.
And I
know.
just remember like being a kid and like getting them and being like, yes, the substantial disc. Look at all these discs.
Yes.
So
Beautiful.
I remember buying a lot of my original DVDs used from GameStop. I think that's where I got all those from.
That was a hot spot for sure.
Yeah, it's harder to
Nice.
get the used ones now because sometimes you get burned when there's a scratch on there, and you're like, damn.
Especially
Yeah.
with DVD. Blu-ray's a little better, but DVDs
A little
city.
scratch.
Yeah, Blu-rays are more scratch resistant too. Just DVDs are so much easier to damage. You know.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah. Anyways, all right. Well, that's gonna wrap up what we've been watching for that segment. We're going to move into non-spoilers for Martin Scorsese's Irishman, starting now.
It's over. They're all gone. Frank, it's time. It's time you say what happened.
Frank, I want you to meet my cousin, Russell Buffalino.
Better watch. There's a lot of tough guys around here. Did he tell you? You're not afraid of tough guys, are you? I didn't think so.
I was one of 1,000 working stiffs until I wasn't no more.
You got a good friend here. You don't know how good a friend you got.
Russell, he took a shine to me right away. After a while, he started giving me little things to do. I know you read a lot of things about me. I just want to say I'm sorry. I know I wasn't a good dad. I know that. I was just trying to protect all of yous.
All right, so that was from the trailer of The Irishman. This is the new film directed by Martin Scorsese. And a description from IMDb says, a mob hitman recalls his possible involvement with the slaying of Jimmy Hoffa. It stars Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, Joe Pesci, Harvey Keitel, Ray Romano, Anna Paquin, and a lot of other people.
Bobby Cannavale, Cavanaugh.
Hey. Jesse Plemons.
Yeah. A lot of folks.
Yeah, big cast. Big cast. So we're going to talk non-spoilers right now. What did you guys all think? Zach, start off with you. What did you think of this film?
Well, I'm a little hazy on the details. A little over a month removed from it. But I will say I am a very large fan of this movie. I loved it. And thought it was a total banger.
Alex, what'd you think?
I thought it was pretty good. I'd say it was solid. I thought the Robert De Niro and Al Pacino, like, I love seeing them, but I felt a little bit like they were just bringing him back one more time. And it just didn't have the same magic in some ways, I thought. Like, it was a little stale in some ways. Okay. But overall, I thought it was pretty solid.
Yeah, I like this movie too. Seems Zach probably liked it the most, but I thought it was very good. I really liked it. I very much liked it. But there are certain things I guess I kind of agree with you, Alex. I wasn't personally very impressed with Robert De Niro's performance.
Oof.
I wasn't a big fan.
Whoa! Throwing shade at De Niro! No, I'm just kidding.
I know.
I'm just throwing the
gauntlet.
gauntlet.
I think maybe the main thing for me, like, I just at no point in the film was I ever convinced that he was even 1% Irish. He's the Irishman.
Well,
he's about as Italian as you can get.
To be fair, though, that title was forced on the movie. They did not choose that title to call it The Irishman.
I know.
You know what it made me immediately think of afterwards?
It is a bad
Did you
title.
guys see Kill the Irishman? You know what I'm talking about?
No, but I was joking with my friend about that being the expanded universe of this movie.
Yeah, so I don't know. I guess that kind of bothered me. I kind of expected... maybe it was just not... I like Robert De Niro, but maybe he just wasn't meant for that part. I don't know. I thought Robert De Niro was fucking amazing in it, personally. I was all in, baby. I like some of his stuff when he's older, and obviously we'll get into more of this later, but I guess... the younger him, the aging process, I guess that's something we can talk about too. Is I thought it looked pretty good.
I was extremely
it was pretty convincing.
By it.
It was pretty convincing.
Those eyes though, didn't they give him blue eyes or something like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Really kind of distracted me. Yeah.
Honestly, I barely noticed it, but and it was brought up because they like call attention to it, and I was like, oh yeah, but I did not realize it until that part personally. But I know I've heard that complaint that it's like a little. I haven't rewatched it either. That the blue eyes are a little much.
There's a couple times I noticed, and I was like, "Yeah, it's strange." But other than that, I didn't really pay too much attention to that. But yeah, I love the dynamic of all the actors in it. Like I thought the chemistry. There was good acting, I'll say, with Robert De Niro when he's just in a scene with Al Pacino. That was some great chemistry back and forth. Their acting was great there. It's love seeing them act together.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Joe Pesci was so good. That was my favorite part of just like seeing these guys back together, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally
it was
agree.
Really cool.
Yeah, I really like seeing Harvey Keitel. I really like Harvey Keitel as an actor. Like in his scenes, I was like, oh yeah. Like,
I actually didn't know he was in the movie before I saw it. So seeing him, I was like, oh cool.
You don't remember the CG Bullet trailer that had his name in it? That like still autoplays on Netflix when you hover over the movie. It plays the like CG Bullet. It's like, just show shots from the movie. Like, what are you doing? Like.
Another thing I really enjoyed about it was it didn't like a lot of, I guess, most mobster movies, they kind of glorify the lifestyle, especially like Goodfellas, Casino, all great movies, but this did something a little different to where it kind of showed like a harsher reality to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which I respected.
The answer to that, like, view of those.
Seeing that lifestyle play through.
Yeah. Yeah, I really liked a lot the freeze frames with the text that'll like have their name and then just be like shot in the face in his kitchen or something when he was 50 and just like, and then it's like died happily. Everyone liked him on the one. It's just like, but yeah, most of everyone just like being killed at a restaurant,
died tragically
in front of his children, like like really like intense stuff. And I think it was pretty like upfront with its like views on that, even if it didn't necessarily like I don't know. It was nice even in the movie when he wasn't dealing with that to have like that through line, just like kind of positioning it.
Yeah.
It was also funny. There was like a lot of humor from that as well, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. I was like pretty impressed by it personally. I think it registered to me as way more subtle than a lot of stuff that he usually does. At least in like this style of amped upness, It was like,
yeah,
because all the technique is still there. There's still the minutia of like him explaining how like the mechanics work of the mob, and there's still like these extended set pieces that are just like weird tangents. But it's all just sort of like relaxed, and there's like still the pop songs, but instead of like Rolling Stones, it's like Santo and Johnny, and like, you know what I mean? So like it was cool to see this sort of just like eased version of that pace, because I think that's just a pace I enjoy more, and it really did feel like, if you're distilling it, like that, like the older mentality of that. Which, when you're dealing with that sort of thematically, I thought was really strong. But what'd you guys think about the length? How are you with the length?
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up. A little too long for me. That's an epic. 3.5 hours. But I'll say this though. At no point was I like, oh, is this ever gonna end? Or I wasn't like I thought it was too long, but I wasn't like completely hating the journey. Mm-hmm. I was still enjoying the journey. It just was a very long journey.
It's a very long movie.
It's a long movie. Yeah.
I'd agree. Like, I felt the length a bit, but also in the day of Netflix, I feel like people are kind of used to like having a mini series like in one sitting. Like, people can stop and start. Because I assume that the majority of people that did watch this saw it on Netflix. Because I did. Yeah. And so, I watched it over 2 days. Actually, I 3 different times. Like, I had to keep stopping, starting. But I enjoyed it all the way through.
Yeah, I started and stopped it a couple times because I just had to like do something, which I hate to do. You know, I it wasn't showing in theaters here, but it's so long it like took me half a day to sort of like
I was gonna try to get a rewatch in because I saw it in October, so I was like, I really need to freshen up. Plus, I just want an excuse to fucking carve out some time, watch this thing, Sure, but then I was like, what am I thinking? I got 3.5 hours this weekend to just like chill and watch The Irishman. I like tried to put it on at like 10 p.m. on Saturday. I was like, this is not. I just fell asleep right away. I was like, this is no way. Yeah. Like, what the hell was I thinking? I will say though, for me, and I do think I would have a different. I don't know. Like, I'm not saying this is the same for you guys, but I think I would have a different opinion if I didn't see it in a theater, because I'm like obsessed with knowing how much is left. Because I do have to stop it, because like I live in a house with multiple people, so people are coming and going a lot. So I'm always like, wait, I have to pause it, and like, oh, hour left. And it's like, oh, like 50 minutes left. So having the theater where I like wasn't thinking about that, it honestly did not feel that long at all to me when I was watching it.
Wow.
I thought it moved pretty nice. I mean, it felt long. I'm not saying like it felt like a brisk 80, but it I do think it moved better than like if I had watched it at home. You know what I mean? But once again, that's just because I'm like a weird time checker.
No, I mean, I totally get it, because like we both paused and stuff, and it does almost lengthen the experience because you are pausing and doing things in between or whatever, or someone is trying to talk to you, get a phone call, or that's what sucks. That's what sucks about having that, because I hate to do that to old Marty. I don't want to disrespect Marty, but
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna rewatch it taking a shit on my phone.
Oh yeah.
Here you go.
There's some stuff. There saw some stuff online some was posting about on Twitter, like he saw several people on like the subway
watching the Irishman.
watching it on their phones. Yeah, and it's like, at one hand, that's definitely not the way he should probably watch it, but at least people are like kind of like all watching it and like, in the same area. It's like
it's interesting.
Pros and cons. Yeah,
taking it in like 15-minute chunks. Yeah, watch 20 minutes on my lunch break. Watch 30 minutes on the way home.
That's not worth it in my opinion. Might as well wait till you can get.
No, I mean I agree.
A little longer chunks.
It's just interesting
but,
to pick like such like a weird, dense, long movie to do that with.
Yeah.
The way that Marty and Thelma expended.
Yes.
Yeah.
Expected
the way
you
he
to
definitely
see it.
intended. Yep. All that being said, though, I do want to see it again. I'll probably watch it again soon.
Yeah. I'm.
'Cause I want to check it out. I want to absorb it because it is because it's so long. There's a lot of content.
Yeah, there's a lot there
to sort of absorb.
What happens? It's just like basically a whole life, or like
It's
half
a
life,
life
basically, at least. I will say one criticism I had, which I guess I don't like weigh against it, but if I'm looking for something I didn't like. It was weird or distracting, not technically, but when he's at his youngest and he's like being introduced to like Joe Pesci and Harvey Keitel that first time, everyone's calling him kid, and it's like he looks like he's like
I know,
late 30s,
that's another
like
thing.
youngest, and it's like I think it's just because I mean you have the perception of what like a 30-year-old Robert De Niro looks like because you've seen that, and it's like his body is just different. But, like, he could pass as that age, but you have the previous, like, connotation to what that Robert De Niro is like at that age. So it feels weird. But I don't think that it's not worth it to have him in the movie. You know what I mean? Like, any, like, fault that I feel like the de-aging has, it's like, well, what's the alternative? No De Niro? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, that's the problem with the de-aging stuff, and it's the same thing with like Samuel L. Jackson and Captain Marvel and a lot of these other movies that have been doing it. It's like you have, like you said, you have a perception of those people when they're younger.
Yeah,
like what they look like. If you didn't know who they were, you might be more convinced. Mm-hmm. So when you're de-aging them digitally in this process, you're really just creating a false person because you're not really making that person how they would have looked.
Yeah,
but you're sort of like creating like an imitation, a false character in a way, which it just kind of screws with you, I think, as a viewer.
Yeah, I think it's subconsciously a little distracting at first, but like I eased into it pretty quickly.
Like he always looked older to me the entire time, and even though he was supposed to be
that's just because he's bigger. Like Robert De Niro when he was that age was fucking skinny, and like you know what I mean.
He was, yeah.
He's like a lanky dude, and like had like a weird striking like bone structure.
The Raging
I feel
Bull.
like he's just a little wider and like broader.
The Raging Bull, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like he has like the short neck, the high like shoulders, you know, and it just you can tell some of the physicality is able.
It's still
like,
the same.
You can tell that he's older, but also it's like I would rather have that performance and know that it's De Niro doing it than like have someone else cast in that role or have, you know what I mean? Like not.
But to kind of compare it to The Godfather Part 2, Robert De Niro plays the young version of Marlon Brando, and he brings a whole different performance to the role. So it's kind of like the age we live in where you can do almost picture perfect de-aging. Like it's kind of can play with your head.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's an interesting thing to do. It's almost like a stylistic choice that you have to make.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's hard for this one because it's not like you're just dealing with one like point in time that it's cutting back to, or like a region of time. It's like so wide spanning. You know what I mean? That like no, even if you cast actors, unless it was like a weird concept thing, you would have to age them up at least. You know what I mean? Which also, the aging up looked incredible.
This happens too.
Oh yeah,
that looks good.
Like old Joe
really
Pesci,
good.
holy shit! Old Joe Pesci at his like peak old was so good.
Yeah,
so old.
Yeah, I agree. And it looked pretty natural.
Yeah, it looked incredible.
I guess that's easier
He's got
to
that
do.
Hand, that hand cocked.
Yeah.
Oof.
Oh,
And that bread. Love that old Joe.
Oh yeah, Joe Pesci. I loved him in this entire film. He was so good.
He stole most of the scenes he was in. I would say he was very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought everyone was good.
But to kind of go off on a tangent, what are we thinking about this and like the range of films for the whole year? Like this has got to be pretty high up. Like what do we think about 2019 in general? Like, I know you always do your top 10 films. Like,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You guys got
I've
that kind of going
already
together, starting to go.
I've been forming my list already.
In the shadows.
Starting early, you know. You got to get on it.
Well, it's coming soon, you know,
yeah.
and it's the end of the year. I thought overall, I guess I'll just say there's a lot of good movies I liked this year. This is no spoilers, but it's on my top 10.
Ooh, okay.
I think it deserves that. I mean, it's a pretty good movie that I really respect. I was just
pretty good.
I guess that's disappointed in a couple aspects of it, but it's still great. You know.
Yeah, I
We
mean,
still got Star Wars to look forward to, though. So see how that goes.
that's true.
Yep.
Yeah, overall, I think
Very true.
I thought this year was pretty strong. I feel like inevitably there's gonna be like some that come up towards the end, like right at the end of the year that I just haven't heard of yet. I feel like there's always like 2 or 3
The
that
award
I see
show.
in, like,
They're always on.
early January that are like easily on my top 10. But I would say that there's definitely a good handful of stuff that I like really loved, you know, that was like really, really good. And I feel like I've also given out a lot of 5s, like more 5s than normal. And even if they weren't necessarily like ones that I'm like holding way up high, like it was still like a lot of really interesting stuff coming out. And I would say The Irishman is definitely among the best.
Among the best.
For me, at least. I'm way in. Diving in, baby.
All right. Well, we'll give our ratings later, but is there anything else we want to talk about, non-spoilers, before we hop into spoilers?
I don't think so.
I thought that they had they showed off the Canada Dry was in like every scene because Al Pacino like was dry, and it seemed like they conveniently had a glass bottle of Canada Dry in every scene, and this kind of bothered me. I don't know if anybody else got that. I was like, why is there a glass of Canada Dry in every
That's
bottle
funny.
of Canada Dry in every scene? Like,
Was
did
it-
they
so
get
wait.
the promotion for that or product placement?
Yeah, maybe.
You know, I actually did. Yeah, I noticed it was like the old school bottle a couple times. Yeah.
I wonder if that was the
Canada Dry.
thing where they were interviewing someone like, Jimmy always drank Canada Dry. And then they were like, yeah, we got to work that in, you know?
The Hoffa loved the
He
Canada
loves the
Dry.
ice cream.
Yeah. Hoffa, oh, he guzzled down the stuff, Canada Dry.
He always had a bottle open.
You know
love
what?
trucks
You know what no one
and
ever says
Canada
about
Dry.
Jimmy Hoffa?
He loved the ice cream.
Oh, yeah.
And
That
the
was
ice
good. I like
cream.
the ice cream.
I guess the last thing I'll say, non-spoilers, is I thought it was cool how it was tied into like that very specific time. Even though it's like broad ranging,
Yeah, yeah.
it follows like one time, like Jimmy Hoffa, you know, following Jimmy Hoffa, and that time span. A little different than I think some of his other mobster movies
Yeah.
take place.
Absolutely.
It's a slightly earlier time
Mm-hmm.
where the prime of their mobster,
Yeah. It's
when
like,
they're mobsters.
yeah, when he's like real little in Casino, you get like a little glimpse, or in Goodfellas, you get like a little glimpse of it, but it's
Yeah,
not to
yeah.
the point where like that's when they're going into the minutia and they're like talking about the operation. You're like seeing how everything works, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like that too. It's an interesting era, and I think his style was really good, like matching that, like in the music choices and everything.
I agree. Yeah, totally. It's all part of that. All right. Well, if that's it, we are going to go ahead and go into spoilers.
Alrighty.
All right.
But before we do that, Zach?
Yeah. Just wanted to remind everyone that this deal is brought to you by Audible, and that for the listeners of the Listen to Us Rant About Movies podcast, Audible is offering a free audiobook download with a free 30-day free trial to give you the opportunity to check out their service. So to download a free audiobook, go to audibletrial.com/LTURAM. That's audibletrial.com/LTURAM.
I have not taken advantage of that offer yet. I'll have to.
Wow, dude.
Try it.
You gotta get on it, dude.
Dude, hop on that deal, man. Free audiobook.
I'm excited.
All right, we're going to get into spoilers starting right now.
You didn't see what I see, what I've been through.
A friend of ours is having a little trouble. Friend at the top.
Hi, Frank. This is Jimmy Hoffa.
Glad to meet you.
Big business and the government is on the attack!
You want to be a part of this fight? A part of this history?
Whatever you need me to do, I'm available.
Only 3 people in the world have one of these, and only one of them is Irish. You know how strong I made you?
I know things they don't know I know.
He said that? You sure he said that?
I'm worried nobody threatens Hoffa. I got records, I got tapes. They're done.
I had to put you into this thing.
Sooner or later, everybody put here as a date when he's gonna go.
Maybe you could download I Heard You Paint Houses, the book that the Irishman is based off of.
Based on a movie.
Is that what the book's called? I hope so.
I think it is.
Which is also apparently the title that they wanted for the movie. And
I think that is the title of the book. Yeah.
And it's amazing that they just left it in the movie. Like, Netflix was like, no, it's got to be called The Irishman. Like, you can't call it I Heard You Paint Houses. And they're like,
It's still the title scene?
Yeah, in the movie, it just still says that. They didn't change that for Netflix, right? They didn't add, like, The Irishman in there anywhere?
I don't think... Yeah, did they never have the Irishman?
Because when I saw it,
card?
it just said, I Heard You Paint Houses when they're driving, and that's the title card of the movie, and it never said The Irishman anywhere. And we're all like, that's so good.
I think you're right.
Just
Scorsese.
Scorsese.
They just never added it.
Thelma and Marty were like, we're holding out on this.
Yeah. It's like, look, that's my title. You can call it whatever you want. My film is called I Heard You Paint Houses.
That's my title. You choose it. I'm going to put it in the movie no matter what. All right?
Yeah, so I was a big fan of that. Because it's honestly just a way better title for a movie than The Irishman.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, so we're in spoilers now. I guess first thought that comes to mind is I thought the daughter, Anna Paquin's performance was very subtle, but it was really well done.
Yeah, I don't get all this controversy and hate about it. It's like, what does she need? Like a monologue to explain everything? You just get everything in the performance.
Oh, she didn't have enough lines. It's like, no, that's what is a great performance, is she didn't have to speak.
Yeah.
And that she got everything across with her emotions.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like, did you understand?
You just automatically,
yeah.
You automatically understood everything. Mm-hmm. There was nothing that had to be said.
Yeah.
And like, that's better to me.
Yeah,
isn't
absolutely.
It?
Yeah, I don't get all that.
She was great.
Yeah, because it's like, if you understood, then what's the complaint? Like, I understand, like, representation in movies, but, like, this is not the fight. This isn't the movie to, like, take down for that. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing wrong with, like, the way they executed this. Like,
there's bigger problems than other films.
Yeah.
You know, like...
Than, like, Anna Paquin not having enough dialogue when, like, she knew that that's what the part was. And, like...
Right.
It's not like she got gypped or, like... or like exploited in the movie. She's like his daughter. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like really good at
She had to do more acting, heavy lifting.
What's that?
Yeah.
If anything, she had to do more acting in the heavy lifting. Like,
Exactly. It's like it's also just like a discredit where it's just like, I don't know, she's like acting a lot, you know? It's like just because she doesn't say anything doesn't mean she's just like standing there. Like her performance is good, you know? Like
she's really acting the hell out of that part.
Yeah, the same with the child version of her. Like
Yeah.
The child version. I can't
too.
remember who played the young daughter,
but they were good though. And I like the whole dynamic about how she didn't like Joe Pesci. Joe Pesci's like trying to buy her stuff. And you're like, yeah, come on, come here. Like,
I don't understand. She never likes me.
Yeah.
It's just he's like, nah, she's just shy, you know.
Yeah. She's shy. I don't know. What do you want? Like, nah.
Yeah, she's shy.
I don't know. I could
and
just,
she only talk to me sometimes.
I could just like watch Robert De Niro like order at a restaurant or like, I don't know, talk to someone on the phone for like a day. I don't know.
He's
like,
so Robert De Niro.
I just love Robert De Niro. He's so good. Like watch him, I don't know, do anything pretty much. Eat a sandwich or
eat a sandwich, do his laundry.
Yeah. Nah,
He's just got that
The
kind of
whites
frown
in,
face on. Just like
wash the whites. You
doing
wash
his
the clothes
laundry.
after, you know. I don't know. You just put it in and you wash it. Nah, you know.
You fold your underpants.
One scene I really liked, and I guess this isn't necessarily like a spoiler, but really enjoyed the hot dog part, where he goes and gets the hot dogs, and then brings them back, and he's talking about how they make the hot dogs with the beer. And it's like this whole tangent on the hot dogs. And then he's sitting there.
I really wanted those hot dogs.
They pour the
He's
beer
sitting there
on there.
eating chili dog.
So good.
And he bought like 4 back. He's like, you want a hot dog? And they're like, no.
Yeah.
So cool. So good. Scene is amazing.
Those chili dogs?
Yeah.
I think they were.
Yeah, and it's like also so bold of De
chili dogs,
Niro
yeah.
to eat chili dogs in this like white living room on this like beautiful couch.
Yeah.
He's like eating a chili dog with like 2 fingers. Like no security on that dog, dude. Like
No, none. It could go everywhere.
he's a clean dog eater. He's a great actor.
I'd say one of my favorite scenes was toward the end when they were talking about the fish, like how they had the fish in the back seat, and it was, and Robert De Niro was like, "I'm sitting in the fish seat," like,
Yeah.
and they like go into this whole dialogue about how you wrap the fish and. And like just kind of hinting at the fact that it was probably like he delivered someone's fish to someone's house, and they were like, "Such and such is swimming with the fishes." So that's what it made me think of. Yeah. Luca Brasi.
That was really
Yeah,
good.
totally.
And the cars.
Yeah, I like that.
I like
scene.
all the cars in the movie too. Like, pretty
Yeah, a
solid.
lot of good
Yeah,
ones.
it was great. Good set design, good production design.
Nice like things of the era that weren't necessarily like always like real glossy, but like good. Like his like shitty truck. And I also liked in the beginning like the thing with the tag. There's like that tin little like metal tag that they put on that they cut off, you know, to like make sure that no one takes the meat. And then he like, hey, tag this for me. It's like, you know, but just like little simple things like that like, I guess how would you like keep track of all that like back in the day? You know what I mean? When you're just like
you didn't.
Yeah. So
it's so much easier to do crime then.
Yeah,
you know?
seriously.
And he shows up with the truck is empty. And they're
Yeah.
just like, I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
What happened?
that
Here, they
I just dropped off
listen,
the
they
truck.
load the truck. Yeah,
That was
they load
great.
the truck. I take the truck, and that's it's
great
it's not
De
my
Niro
fault,
scene.
you know. It's just
I don't know. Hey, me too, man. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. What do you think? I'm driving. Look, there's I'm not. I don't
Classic
load the
De Niro.
truck. Come on, like that. I don't know.
It's just, I don't know. They load the truck. I take the truck.
Hey, I'm just driving. Yeah, I mean.
That was great. So I'm kind of curious though, because I was thinking, it's like, I guess I never got like a clear sense of why Robert De Niro, his character, like wanted to just he was just like along for the ride. Like there was never one moment where he was like, should I do this? Should I like not do this? I'm just gonna work for this guy and things just kind of progress, and now he's a gangster. There was never. I just kind of wish there was some
watershed moment.
Wrestle with mortality or his morality. I mean, is he just never really struggled with that, and he went from a hardworking stiff, and then he just easily just makes his way through to like this gangster scene.
Yeah, I think though that...
Was he just always a bad person? Was he always just like, he didn't care about any other people, or...
I think for me, part of that stems from the fact that, like, the realization comes later. And it's like, I get where he's coming from a different background than other people, like, in, like, this setup. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, in Goodfellas, he's like a kid, and he's like, yeah, mobsters are cool. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be like that. And you don't really have that moment of, like, inspiration. But I do think that, thematically, I think it makes it strong for me that he kind of is just along for the ride. And it like, starts incrementally, you know? Mm-hmm. And then, because of that, I mean, it's like, you're accepted into this group. You're making a bunch of money. And I think if he had...
And before you know it, 40 years have gone by.
Yeah, exactly. And I think... in the context of this, like, overarching life, and also with, like, the way that it wraps up, where he's just, like, alone, I think it kind of, like, for me, like, how would anyone get into this? It's, like, not thinking about that. Because if you're just, like, think that you're a murderer, then, you know, that realization is going to come way sooner. You know what I mean? So, I feel like that was kind of part of it for me, that he's just kind of, like, swept up in it. But I do understand that there's not... It's like, this dude's like... I mean, also, I don't know if this is a dynamic where he's supposed to look younger, but he's definitely not supposed to look like 15. So, like...
yeah, definitely not.
He is, like, an established guy with a job, so it does seem weird at first that he's, like... Like, what exactly drew him? Because it's not like he was like, I need money, or... You know what I mean? So, I get what you're saying there, but...
No, I think you're right, though. I think you're onto something where you get that explanation and that payoff, where I think the intention is sort of like he's swept into it, and he is along for the ride. He's being selfish, you know. Mm-hmm. He's not around for his family as much or his kids, and he's not a good dad, but he's making fuck tons of money, and he's doing what he wants, and he gets to do whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah, and I think it's also just
and
like
then when
they
he
don't
gets to
question
that,
it. They're just like, oh yeah, I'll just do this, and like that's what I do. So like. That's the way it works, and that's what I do. So, like, I'll do it, and then all that other shit's extra, you know.
And I think what you were saying is like, before you know it, it's like his whole life has passed before his eyes, and now he's old, and he doesn't really have much of a connection with his family, and he's alone. And let's just go ahead and get to the end there and say, I thought the ending was amazing.
Yeah, it's incredible.
The ending is really good, I thought.
Yeah, I was a big fan, and I really liked.
What'd you think of the ending, Alex?
I liked it.
Did you like it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not a super big fan.
Well, I was really curious, like how it was gonna play out with Jami Hoffa. Like, I'm not sure if I didn't expect it, but like. I thought I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it too. Like, I like how at the very end he's like still holding out against the FBI when they like go see him, and they're like, "Everybody's dead. What are you holding out for? Tell me what happened."
Yeah.
And he's just like,
"There's no one left."
Not saying nothing.
Yeah. Nah, I'm still just like a stubborn old man, so like I'm not. You know.
Yeah.
But...
That part I enjoyed.
But also he knows the consequences.
Yeah.
Yeah. He had that ingrained in him. You know, just you don't fucking say a peep.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that also
Johnny
just like
Tight Lips.
Yeah.
Yep.
just the concept of things being ingrained. Like, he doesn't question the morals because, like, that's how it's done. And, like, hey, if I want to be like someone, like these guys are someone, everyone knows who they are, and they like me. So, like, I feel like the end wouldn't work as strong if you've had that moral, like, dilemma earlier on.
Already.
And you you get a little bit of that where you can tell he's, like, questioning things. And then he, like, tells a whole, like, war flashback, and you can tell it, like, is affecting, but he's not, like, breaking it down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Another just stylistic thing that I really liked, though, about, like, how it gets towards the end is how he just kind of, like, he's the narrator, you know, obviously, and he just kind of, like, is old and just trails off. And, like, as the movie goes, it kind of becomes, like, more incoherent because he's just like, I don't know, and then, like, that, you know, and it kind of, like, breaks up a little bit, and I liked that, like, that age kind of, like, showed through, in a sense. I thought that was interesting. It wasn't, like, super, like, crazy, but I did notice the kind of, like, breaking down of the narration, like, kind of as it progressed, where he just, like,
I didn't really catch that.
He just, like, seemed tired by the end, just like, and then they did all that, and then that was that, and anyway, you know,
because he's telling the story,
you know,
so
it's like technically, like, you've been sitting in this room where he's in the wheelchair the whole time, so it's just like an old man, like, trailing off, and then he's like, I don't know, and what, you know. And I like that aspect. That was in there a little bit, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, that's cool. I didn't really notice that, but that makes sense. One of my favorite scenes was where he's trying to choose the gun.
Oh yeah, totally.
For the job.
Yeah, that's just, like,
got
the
all
classic
the guns
shit,
sprawled
dude.
out.
It's like, ooh, yeah, this is some Scorsese shit right here. Like,
yeah, totally. That's some great Scorsese shit. He, like, has all the guns laid out, and he's like, you don't want anything too loud, so you put this aside, and but the silencer, you want to make a little bit of noise, though, but not too much noise.
Yeah. It's so good. And also him just throwing all the guns in the river and stuff, I liked.
Yeah, going back and forth, and it was just, like, littered with guns.
Yeah. And also, like,
there's a whole arsenal down there.
After he makes the hit in New York or whatever, where he kills that guy at that, like, fast food place or wherever they're at. You know,
yeah, that was pretty crazy.
That was a cool scene, but I got a good chuckle out of him getting rid of those guns. Just, like, steps down on these rocks and just goes, ah! It's, like, frozen. It's, like, not very far. It's like, ah! I was like, damn, crime was fucking easy. You know what I mean? Like we were talking about earlier, it's like, crime was so easy. You just murder someone, just go, ah! Just throw the gun, like, right into the...
So much
like,
easier.
maybe 10 feet out into like, the lake, and it's just like, yeah, gone forever, dude.
Gone. I thought the way he handled some of the shooting and stuff was, like... It was either, like, old manish or just, like, uncoordinated. It was weird. So, like, the part where he comes around, and there's the guy who steps out onto the street, and he goes up and just shoots him.
Yeah.
Sort of, like... It's almost like he punches him and then fires. Like, the way he, like, maneuvers is really weird.
Yeah.
Like, he, like, kind of, like, walks up and... It's hard to, like, talk about without showing you.
I'll do a breakdown after this. Local frame. Check it out.
Yeah. He just sort of, like, walks up weird and just, like... just, like, lowers himself and almost, like, punches with the gun and then fires. I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird way to handle a gun. Yeah. But, I noticed that. For all his scenes, and like I said, I don't know if that's him doing, like, a character or if it's, like, him being his old self in his physicality, trying to, you know.
It's like some people hold the gun sideways, so people throw the bullet out of the gun, jabbing it at him.
They, like, knock it out.
Yeah. Really good. Loved the
what else?
The grape juice at the end with the old Joe Pesci when he's like, I did this, like, I was looking out for us or whatever.
They're eating the bread in prison.
Yeah, and he's like, I can't eat that bread. He's like, okay, give me a little piece. Dipping it in the grape juice. I'm like, oh, so good. So good. Just the performances are incredible. It's just like, oh my god.
Yeah. I agree. One thing we didn't talk about was the slaying of Jimmy Hoffa. What'd you guys think of that? So that's another scene where he moves the gun towards his face and does a jabbing motion.
Interesting.
Yeah. But it's like, fuck, he had to kill that guy that he became friends with. And,
yeah, it's rough, man.
And it happened so fast, you know?
Yeah, it just all of a sudden just becomes this weird tangent where he's flying and they're it's got to be done now, and you're like, oh shit. But
they kept warning him, you know? They kept warning him, and he was, and at that party, De Niro's like, listen, you know, I'm trying to do you a favor here, you know. It's like, I'm trying to tell you, you got to stop, you know. And Al Pacino's just so stubborn. He won't give in.
Yeah.
But then that whole journey to kill him was pretty interesting too. Get in the car, take the flight, you drive up, the car will be waiting for you. You drive over. You know, that whole stuff, that whole thing was pretty interesting.
Yeah, I definitely didn't get that on the first watch. I was like, wait a minute. So they're driving, throughout the movie, they cut back to them driving with their wives, and they have to make the smoke breaks, and they're
right.
And then I'm like, oh, okay. So he goes and then flies back, and then for his alibi, they're driving across to see it.
Right.
I was like, oh, he just goes, takes the little plane, and bam.
Yeah. There are several traveling scenes in different times.
Yeah. Which could get a little, you know, it's layers.
Yeah.
But I liked the road movie aspect where they were that whole thing. Really liked the smoke breaks. I'm just gonna. So now I can't smoke? I'm gonna smoke in the car.
Yeah.
Immediately before they even get on the highway.
She was so pissed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Immediately,
Yeah.
they're he's like, we've been on the road for 2 minutes.
Yeah. 2 minutes. We're not even on the highway. Come on. So good. But yeah, I thought that scene was pretty affecting. And I think that also goes to, I think, his character and him being not necessarily I guess kind of a straight man to you know, archetypal people of this, you know, background, the mob or whatever, but just that well, hey, you didn't follow the rules, and you're my really I love you, but also I don't know, I gotta do it because I'm stubborn and there's arbitrary rules, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
well, you broke the code, and we gave you warnings, and the boss man told me you gotta die, so I gotta
I'm
do
doing it. And I know it's not easy, but it also is I don't know. It's interesting the way it plays out in the movie, and
well, that plays sort of
quite a bit.
Yeah, that kind of plays into the whole loss of morality aspect too. Because that stuff starts to flood back to him once he's really old.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
you kind of see.
And now he dies alone. You know.
Yep.
That's the cost.
Mm-hmm.
It's the cost of that life.
Yeah.
Interesting. It's really interesting.
I also just thought it was really fun. I thought it was a fun movie.
Fun journey.
It moved a lot more than I thought it was going to. I thought it was probably going to be a little less amped up than it was. So I was like, man, this is just this is some classic Scorsese shit right here. You know what I mean? He's cutting around. He's talking about gun minutia.
Yep.
But yeah, it's I don't know where I was going with that. It was fun to watch.
It felt like it was made by an older Scorsese.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
It feels like a more mature look back at almost his own life in a way. It's almost self-reflective, but through the lens of this mobster.
Yeah, absolutely.
I got that sense too. Yeah, great film. I'm not sure what else to say.
You know what I'm thinking right now? I'm looking at this letterbox page with Robert De Niro, and I'm like, what if he was Judge Dredd? He's got that sweet scowl going. Like,
He's got that scowl.
Honestly,
he would be the
scowl.
best Judge Dredd.
let's reboot Dredd and get old De Niro in.
Get old De Niro is
You gonna come to
I
see
would-
Judge
Sequel to
Dredd?
Judge
Saying
Dredd.
You gonna say that to Judge Dredd?
I'm just picturing his mouth underneath the helmet.
Yeah, he's got the
and he's like, you're gonna bring out the judge? You're gonna make me judge this situation?
So hold on, let me just get this straight. You're calling the judge right now. That's what you're doing right now. Is you're calling the judge? Okay.
It's the best movie concept I've ever heard of.
Honestly, Alex,
Martin
you gotta get a treatment
Scorsese's
going for
Judge
this thing, dude.
Dredd, starring Robert
Yeah.
De Niro.
Oh my god.
It's a genius idea, dude. Get a treatment going.
Oh my god. Just putting that helmet
Yeah.
over his scalp.
Just Robert De Niro wearing any sort of like weird sci-fi costume. It's like, man, that's good. It's like a weird sci-fi helmet.
the
with a
shit out
gun.
of that.
Me?
Yeah.
Judge Dredd? You talking to me right now? So good.
Oh, that's great.
Him talking about weird
Alright.
sci-fi sausages that they're making with, you know, like the hot dog scene. Let's get it in there.
Yeah. Oh my god. Well, to wrap it up, what do you guys rate this movie? Zach, I know your rating. Just go ahead and say
Straight 5 banger, dude.
it. There you go. What about you, Alex?
I gave it a 4. I'd say it's pretty solid 4. Yeah, it's good
Okay,
seeing
yeah.
everybody back together. Scorsese, you know,
Mm-hmm.
pretty solid.
Cool. And I'm right in the middle. I'm 4.5.
Okay. Interesting.
4.5.
Only 5 here.
Pretty good movie. Pretty good movie. Just
Okay.
not perfect.
4.5.
But, hey,
4.5
listen,
is more than pretty good. Come on.
That's. I mean, no.
4.5
That's
is like a great
That's
movie.
very good.
Yeah.
That's
Pretty
very,
good.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, it's very
Oh,
good.
Also, well, let's wrap this up. But before we end the show, I gotta bring something up here that I forgot about.
Well, go ahead and say it.
Okay.
Because I'm really
You-
interested in hearing about
Hold
that
on.
painting.
I gotta
houses.
pull it up here. I just want to get my facts together. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Hold on. So,
You pulling something up on
sorry for this
Letterboxd?
delay. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I just need your definition of what. So like, what's pretty good to you, and what's like good? Like, what's a 4? It's a 4.
No, 4 is pretty good.
Return of the Jedi, pretty good.
Yeah. I just
You
rewatched
are
it and
the biggest Star Wars guy I know, and you're giving Return of the Jedi a 4 out of
Pretty
5.
good.
Pretty good.
I brought it down to 4. Yeah.
Yeah, bud. Cold.
On this recent showing.
You're not liking those teddy bears?
Yeah, it's the
Ewoks?
Ewoks. It's the color thing. Yeah, I don't know.
Ah man.
Empire Strikes Back, it's a 5.
Interesting. What's your
And
lowest?
the original Star Wars,
What's your lowest?
it's a 4.5.
4.5.
4.5 original. Damn.
Wait, did I give that a 5? I don't know. I could be wrong. It might be a 5.
Also, a little more understandable. Just because I got it pulled up.
Yeah,
Home
sure.
Alone 3.5.
Yeah. It's not like a amazing movie.
It's a 5-star.
What do you give that, 5 stars?
Yeah, I would.
That's Joe Pesci at his best.
That's premium Joe. That's
Premium.
premium Stern. It's Apex Christmas movie.
I did rewatch both of the movies recently. That's something I could have talked about, but Christmas season time, we rewatched those.
Oh, that reminds me.
Quick question
Did you
here.
guys see that show on Netflix? Like how the movies that made us, where they
Oh.
showed like the behind the scenes.
I saw the preview. For the Home Alone one. I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, I watched all those. They were pretty good. They had Dirty
yeah?
Dancing, Home Alone, Die Hard, and Ghostbusters. And they're all pretty solid.
Nice.
Yeah, I've heard that's good. I need to check that out.
It's like a little DVD
Yeah, I wanna
special
watch the Home
feature,
Alone.
kind of like after the fact, look back.
Right.
Good stuff.
Kind of like a look back.
All right.
It's cool.
I don't want to dig too deep into this, Wes. But I got a scandal right now. This is a scandal.
Oh boy.
I screenshotted your 4-star review, and I'm on Letterboxd, and you changed it to 4.5, baby. Having second thoughts?
Did I?
It's
Return of the Jedi?
currently November 28th, 2019, 4.5. All right, 4.5. You see that?
Okay.
I'm looking
Okay.
at the screenshot
You took a screenshot of it.
because I was like, I'm bringing this up on the show. 4.5.
that's funny.
4. Look at that. What's up with that, Wes? What do you have to
I
say
probably
for
felt-
yourself, dude? I'm just...
I probably felt guilty about it. I probably
Because
felt
4
really
is
guilty
too
about
low.
You woke up sweating in the middle of the night, pulled
Yeah,
up
like,
your
I
phone,
gotta
and you're like,
change
gotta
that.
switch it.
it. Dude, you're right. I totally went back to the diary, and I think I remember. Yeah, I remember changing it to 4.5 because I was like,
It's a
4's too low.
It's a 4.5 movie, dude. You came
It's
to
a
your
4.5.
senses. I just needed to.
I did.
You know what? I realized it after it ended, and I was like, I'm sorry. I gotta bring. Just gotta clear the air on this. Everyone
Yeah,
needs to know.
thanks for bringing that up. Yeah, I can make this clear so everyone knows. 4 is too low.
Oh,
4.5.
you
It's more
dropped.
appropriate.
I didn't.
And I'm
hear you.
rewatching all of them leading up to the new one. So I rewatched episode 1. Worse than I remember, man. It's it's not good. It's not
Return
a
of the
good
Jedi.
movie. No. Phantom Menace.
Oh, sorry.
Episode 1.
Your audio dropped out for a second. I couldn't hear you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said I was rewatching all of them.
Mhm.
And so I started the prequels now. I saw episode 1. And I think I originally gave it a 3. I knocked it down a half star because it's it's more than probably it deserves because I just like Star Wars, but
Yeah.
2.5. It's not. It's really not. It's not a good movie.
Yeah. It's pretty bad. I do remember, though, at least from what I remember, that stylistically and visually, it was more in line than 2 and 3.
Yes, it is.
Which is cool.
Because it has that film element
Yeah.
look to it. It's not all digital like what they were doing in the other two.
I want to know
and plus you have a really sweet lightsaber fight. Still one of the best.
Yes, very good. Very good.
You know.
What I want to know, though, is I heard all this talk of Star Wars Episode 2 being mastered in 1080, and here I go on Disney Plus, Episode 2, 4K. Is that a lie?
Yeah. It's on 4K.
But how? It's mastered in 1080.
I don't know. Maybe they upscaled it. I haven't watched it yet, so I don't know
That's
how it
bogus.
holds up.
Disney Plus is bogus!
They're supposedly all in UHD, man.
Yeah.
All of them on there.
Just drop those discs, baby. Rain those discs down.
I know.
I'll buy them.
I will say it looked, because I am rewatching them.
Yeah.
Part of that is to see them in
Oh,
UHD
yeah, absolutely.
because kill two birds with one stone. And they do look pretty good.
Oh, I'm sure it looks great. I'm just,
I was amazed at the first movie, like
Yeah.
the original Star Wars: A New Hope.
Uh.
That in UHD was like really great, like very impressive.
Nice.
It was cleaned up nicely.
You can really see the seams on C-3PO's costume.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could, dude. I was telling Zach on the last episode, you could see the paint strokes on like the set, parts of the set, like on the ships, and you can see Luke Skywalker's like pores, which isn't necessarily like a good thing.
Yeah,
but
I was about to ask about the pore
fucking there.
resolution. How's that pore resolution going?
Sharp pore resolution,
Oof.
high quality pores.
Daddy likes a nice sharp pore. You know what I mean?
Well,
all right. Well, that's gonna. Oh, do you have something else to say, Alex?
Well, I was gonna say, what's our top 3 best Martin Scorsese movies? Like, what do
Okay,
we
yeah,
think?
that's a good thing.
We
to
can
say.
look at the page here.
Ooh, fuck! I didn't prepare though. This is tough.
I didn't
on the
either.
spot.
But
It's
I'm
tough.
gonna say right away, number one for me is Goodfellas.
Goodfellas.
Just always gonna be Goodfellas.
God, this is too hard.
I think the second might be Taxi Driver.
Oh, you know?
Gotta pull up his movies though, you know?
Yeah, I'm looking at the page and I'm like, I was gonna say Goodfellas is definitely up there, but then I see The Last Waltz on here, and I really like The Last Waltz. I don't know if you guys have seen that one.
Yeah.
I actually have not. I haven't seen that one.
Oh shit, it's very good.
It's like a concert movie, but they like cut in with these interviews with the band, and it's pretty fantastic.
Cool. Oh man, the Silence is pretty amazing.
Yeah, I guess my thing is like, am I judging off what are my favorite to watch, or am I judging off what's his best movie? You know what I mean? Because that's hard.
Yeah. Which one
like,
you asking
best,
for, Alex?
What would I say is my best, my top number one?
Or no, like
You saying that?
yeah, like
Go for it.
are
Zach.
we saying which are our favorite to watch, or like what we think is his best movie? You know what I mean?
Or how about both? Like,
Okay. This is tough. All right, I'm gonna say, I definitely think Goodfellas is one of his best movies, and Silence is one of his best movies.
Yeah, I agree.
I've never seen Silence. Yeah.
Oh, it's very good.
It's really
Check it out.
new.
It's very good.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah, it's newer.
I totally slipped
3
through
years
on
ago, maybe.
me.
It
Liam
was
Neeson.
my number one. It was my number one for that year.
Your number one for that year?
I did a retroactive,
Oh.
and Sean pointed this out.
Okay.
I counted as my number one for that year because I hadn't seen it when we.
Man,
did
you're the
top
king
10.
of retroactive letterbox, huh? What's going on there? Changing
Yeah,
it?
bud.
No, just kidding.
Listen, it's a fluid system. It's a fluid system.
It's a fun system.
Never mind the top 10 of this year, because next year I'm going to change it.
Can't wait to see what your
fluid,
top
it's
10's
fluid.
like in February, dude. At month after.
Hey,
You
if
live
I've
with
seen more movies since then, you know.
Number one is now. Whenever I feel like. Whenever
See,
I feel like.
3 is hard for me because I think Goodfellas is definitely a best. Silence is a best. Favorites: King of Comedy, After Hours.
I was going to say After Hours is pretty fantastic.
Yeah, it's so good. I love that movie.
Taxi Driver.
Taxi
man.
Driver is also a banger. That might be the third. That's the cross one. I'll do 2 side ones on each, and then the cross one's Taxi Driver.
Okay, that's fair.
So, did you have a third, Alex? You said Goodfellas, Last Waltz, and what else? Oh, wait, did you say After Hours? Was that your last one?
That or this George Harrison. I guess I don't know how they kind of like dip into these like mini series things with the letterbox. I'm like, it's kind of moving in a different direction.
Yeah, I say just feature films.
Yeah.
It's a tough time.
Feature
Once you
films are-
bring in one, it's just like, up. It's all going to fall, you know? Where's the line? I can't see anything.
Just some honorable mentions: Gangs of New York,
Banger.
The Departed,
Banger.
Wolf of Wall Street.
Banger.
Pretty good movie.
Dude is churning
Pretty good
out
movie.
bangers. And how old is he? How old's this fucking guy?
He's in the 70s now.
Born in
probably
1942.
Taxi Driver would be my number 3. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
I love that movie.
Wolf of Wall Street's pretty great in his more modern era.
Honestly, for me, I would say The Irishman up there with his best. Personally, I thought I thought it felt like
It's really great.
a culmination to me. It had like that vibe where
It
like,
does.
felt really substantial. You know.
Yeah,
But yeah, man.
I agree with that.
He's a hero.
Um,
Raging Bull. No one brought up Raging Bull. Guy's got
I know,
too many
Raging
fucking
Bull.
movies. Also, Cape Fear. God damn it. Too many movies.
I watched the original Cape Fear this year.
It's good. You like it?
That was pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
and he's a producer on a lot of films I didn't know he was a producer on.
Yeah. He gets around. He does some stuff.
Dude, another one, The Aviator.
Yeah, banger, dude. Oh,
He's a heavy hitter.
Super good.
He is such a heavy hitter. Hugo's fun.
I really like Hugo. I was talking to someone about The Irishman. They're like, yeah, it's like finally moved on from that like fucking Hugo bullshit. And I was like, whoa.
Hold on.
Like, Hugo is a good movie. Like, I really like
I got that shit on Blu-ray.
Yeah, man.
Shutter Island.
And just announced on 4K. You see that?
Oh, no.
It's coming, baby.
I did not
think
see that.
February it comes out on 4K. Very nice.
Either you seen the
So his next
original Cape Fear? That's got the Robert Mitchum
I have
in
not.
it. Mm-hmm. Robert Mitchum's a banger too.
Love me some Robbie.
Have you guys heard about this new movie he's doing? It's already in pre-production. Flowers of the Flower Moon, or Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah, I did. I'm in.
Robert De Niro and Leo DiCaprio.
Bridge the gap, baby. Bring them together.
Yes. So that's his movie for 2021, supposedly.
Hell yeah. I'm in.
It's a crime drama history.
Yeah, it's super good. I heard he backed off Devil in the White City. He's just producing it now.
Good stuff, man.
Yeah, dude.
Well, anyway, we can continue this offline, but let's wrap it up for this one, guys.
Sure.
It was a good talk. As
Good
always,
chatting.
you can find other episodes of this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and YouTube.
Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and if you enjoy the show, consider leaving a review on iTunes, because every rating brings us more listeners. You can email us at listentousrantaboutmovies@gmail.com.
Thank you to our Patreon producer, Sean Pierce, and our other Patreon supporters. You too can be a producer and or supporter of this podcast by visiting our Patreon page and becoming a monthly patron for as little as $1. Visit www.patreon.com/LTURAM podcast. And that's going to wrap it up. Alex, thanks so much for coming on the podcast. Enjoyed having you on.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was great.
Of course.
Yeah, man. And until next time.
Yeah, until
Bye,
next time.
guys.
Later, buds.
Goodbye.